Hello, and welcome back to the Oscatch World Cup 2024, round of 16, Mappool Showcase. We got a banger map pool for you guys this week. I am Sekrai. I am going to be joined today by our lead map pooler, advisor, jack of all trades, the GOAT himself, WWWW, aka Connor. How you doing?
Oh, you flatter me. It's amazing to be here. Definitely hope you guys enjoyed round of 32, because we have a lot in store for you as the map pool continues. And I'm very excited for you guys to see it.
Yeah, I mean, last week we had a pretty good map pool, all things considered. I mean, every single map in the last week's map pool, in my opinion, was at the quality that you would expect of a World Cup, but even higher. You know, it was a very solid map pool, and I think pretty much everybody would agree at that point. And this week, I don't doubt that we have anything worse for you. We're going to get even better as the map pools go on week by week.
With all being said, I think we can jump right into No Mod 1.
Yeah.
Going to be having, oh god, the artist name, Airport Express featuring Itsuneko Birth, mapped by FD Fluorite. Gonna be 5.8 stars, a little bit average length for your No Mod 1, being 330, and going to be a very consistent stream map.
Yeah, consistent streams. I also see a lot of 1-4 into anti-flow, 1/2 hyperdashes, even in the intro, which they're not really that easy. I know our prior No Mod 1 also had that pattern, and it's good to see that that kind of consistency is being kept up between the No Mod 1s week to week.
Definitely one of the more common patterns in terms of mapping meta, with a lot of kind of slightly sharp H dashes. And even some wiggles and turnarounds here and there. Just a little bit of a step up for our consistency round the 16 map.
Yeah, and it's also just good to have FDF back again this year mapping. I know they also made some normal ones, I believe, in prior years, and they were always pretty good. Yeah, they even made the qualifier normal one last year, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slightly similar style. I know real OGs will remember this from the 2014 standard map.
I'm sadly not a real OG, I'm sorry.
Oh, not a good
I was
look.
around then, but I do not remember it, I'm sorry. But yeah, I also see 1/6 bursts like that one right there. I believe those are 1/6. They might be 1/8. I'd have to have you confirm those if they are or not.
They are 1/8 burst. You can definitely glide right through them. They'll be paired with a few stacks that definitely speed up your catcher by quite a bit. Something unique that this map offers is quite a few of these wiggles that happen before the breaks can definitely create some stress, because it's a very kind of easier pattern to miss on because of the inputs required. So you'll be able to see who missed on those right when the short breaks happen.
Oh yeah, even those wiggles right there. I was like, I think it was just a 3-note wiggle into another 3-note wiggle after it. So it wasn't that hard. They're not like the really hard wiggles where it's one direction and then you're sitting there wiggling for 7 notes in a row. There is a lot of leniency with those, at least, which is to be expected, at least on a round of 16 pool.
Simply a choke point, you could say, but nothing too out of the ordinary. Even coming into this solo, still staying consistent with a lot of the stream patterns included in this map.
Also, what is this replay name I'm seeing, by the way? I need some insight on what this is.
Well, I bet you can guess who it's by.
I wonder. I wonder what the first 3 letters of each word are.
Very common AFB strategy, you could say.
But what does it mean, though?
I have no idea. I forgot.
I'll have to ask him then. Go ping him in Mappool feedback. Ask him what it is.
We will.
But we're going to be getting straight into No Mod 2, though. Gonna be a little higher approach rate at 9.5, but it's gonna be P4KO. I don't know how to pronounce it. Artist name. I'm sorry. You will. I think it's, what is it? You should know.
Pekko with a 4.
Yeah, that works. It's gonna be Altered Ego. This one's gonna be just over 2 minutes at 2:05. A little bit higher BPM than the last one. This one's gonna be the technical pick. I already see some hyper chains in here. Some more technical wiggles like that one. Just bursty. It's also going to be mapped by Illuminate. Forgot to mention that.
The snapping's going to be a lot more constant with a lot of one-off notes coming into very quick snaps, while also being quite a bit more wiggly and having these spaced out hypers as well. Definitely a bit of a jump up, which is seen as a necessity considering, being realistic, this is one of the most common skill sets in the game.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, at this point, I think everybody can see this kind of map and be like, hey, I played this. I played something like this. And you can just go to link any James Zoo map and pretty much be like, yeah, this is it. It's kind of crazy how over the past, 4 or 5 years, this skill set has pretty much become the mainstay in catch overall, to the point where you can make something pretty hard for the Nomad 2 slot, just because everybody is so well versed in something like this at this point.
Yeah, definitely a lot of pattern variety included with the hyper chains, turnarounds, and one-note jumps. To kind of compensate for such a spike, this is also definitely a shorter map.
Yeah.
Only being 2:05 in drain time.
And that is also what you expect, I think, for all Nomad 2s as well. Nomad 1 being the longer consistency, Nomad 2 being the shorter but burstier in difficulty. That's a satisfying spin too. I like that spin pattern.
Spinners, my beloved. Okay, jumping into Nomad 3, I left Ultraviolet by Rinkia. Gonna be a little bit of SR down, being 5.4. Going to be our gimmicky Nomad of the week, being only AR9. And we're gonna see a lot of these gimmicks fairly quickly.
Yeah, the main thing I'm really noticing is these double hyper dash patterns with very offset spacing as well. That's the thing that's really hard about these, is you look at the spacing between each of the 3 notes, and it's actually very slightly different. That means the amount of snapping that you need to do for each of the notes requires so much precision that is honestly pretty hard even at this level to be able to do consistently.
Definitely wanting Nomad 3s to be practiced quite a bit more.
Yeah.
Definitely allowing for maps that encourage people to practice the map pool, and this is definitely going to be one of those maps.
Also, is this Rinkia's first custom map, I believe, in World
Yes,
Cup?
this is their first appearance as a custom mapper. They've mapped quite a bit for community tournaments. Not to mention, it's also Aleph's first appearance in CWC.
Really? That
So
one's surprising to me.
We have a matching pair here.
You know,
Or the
I
jump
actually
it.
like the replay name too. On screen. I can't.
I gotta credit Xerox for that one. Was his idea, and I
Dude.
absolutely loved it.
I swear, anytime you see some, like, kind of dad joke kind of meme, you can kind of just think it's Xerox. I don't know why, but it's just, whenever I think of some type of dad jokes, I think of Xerox.
It's very fitting. You can also see the gimmick of these sections kind of evolving with stacks and the slider ack. Can always
these
choose
stacks kind of remind me of a Gigas map a little bit. Something that you would put like as a hidden one.
Some of them are quite a bit sharp, and others are a bit more mechanical. Definitely a lot of variety in inputs with this map. You can very easily move away from the stack so early, because so many players aren't the most used to playing AR9 Nomad.
Yeah, especially at AR9, this is pretty dense. I didn't even register that for a moment. Like, the density on this is really high for AR9.
Also have it paired with the slider ack. Definitely going to be one of the maps to practice this week.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, going to be shifting to our convert of the week, Miyuke Mock Roger. This is going to be a convert edit just to make sure that we don't have any of those singular pixel jumps that cause everyone to miss. That's going to be our theme moving forward if we find one that fits but has one of those instances. This is going to be This is going to be slightly higher AR at 9.3. Going to be kind of in between all of the ARs, and going to be some light streams and very light tech.
Yeah, it's mostly looking like a technical pick, and maybe we have even a 1/3 section. It wasn't too difficult on the 1/3 section, but it is still there regardless.
Something I should also mention is we are grateful for your guys' feedback. We are moving forward. If we pick a convert that has 5% volume lines, we will be removing them.
God
so
bless.
Thank you all for pointing that out.
I love you for that. You don't know how much those words made my day, personally.
Something that needed to be done. And it would not have been done without the people who were willing to point it out.
Yeah, I mean, for people who don't really know why it's a big deal, I guess I can kind of indulge a little bit on this. Is pretty much every object you catch is an active object, right? Which means you're moving to catch most things. And if a note has a 5% volume line, that means you just don't hear if you hit it, which creates really hard feedback. And it's usually only noticed on hidden, but you can definitely notice it pretty much everywhere.
Especially considering how dense this pick is, well, with how streamy it is. Can definitely create some slight confusion when you dash. And the spacing is definitely wide here as well.
Yeah, not many far, like, kind of 1/2 jumps in this map compared to some of the other converts that we've had, you know, where it's more of a jumpy map with the technical streams. This is more of a technical stream map with very occasionally the 1/2 jumps, mostly on the 1/4 jumps, actually, that are not hyper dashes.
Also see Mango in the chat thanking us for this song. You are welcome, Mango.
It is a banger.
Miser.
I'm so surprised that nobody's map doesn't catch, though. Somebody has to get on it. This is something that I think Dika would map, honestly.
Let's hope that sparks inspiration.
True. And also, the prediction in the chat. Who is the map of Hidden One? Well, you have your answer now. It is Crowley. Crowley's going to be coming in with Osmosis from Good Kid.
Another Crowley classic artist paired with a classic map. Going to be control from a lot of these kind of slight standstill patterns. And even things that are a bit wide as well. Going to be seeing...
You got some droplets.
Those
funky droplets.
Yeah, those little cute slider act drops are going to be very common throughout this map as a general theme.
Aquatic flow biology. Man. I have to wonder how AFB finds these difficulty replay names. Does he just RNG 3 random words at some point?
I believe so.
Oh my god. Yeah. This one definitely has a lot of technical movement, like you said, where it's gonna test reading a lot more than a normal Air 9 pick would, in my opinion. Like, even that pattern right there that we just saw that had the double movement to the right, but with a very quick stop in the middle, those patterns are pretty hard, especially without the hyper dash. You saw one with the hyper dash there. Those are usually easier than the ones without the hyper dash.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is actually very technical.
Going to see slight escalation from last week's consistency pick. Definitely hoping to better test hidden as a trait.
This map kind of reminds me of, like, what a hidden 3 would look like if it was a specific 4 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely
Like,
with the
a lot funkier
unconventional.
than your average hidden one. But it also does fit the role of like a consistency pick, because it is very consistent in the way that it is mapped.
Yeah, many of the patterns, despite being unconventional, are reused in such a way so where even if you aren't used to them, you can get a lot of your practice in.
Yeah.
While things do escalate a bit in the latter 2 key eyes, it's still very consistent with its patterning. And alright, that is our hidden 1. I think we can just jump right into our hidden 2. Alright, and that is going to be our first OSU original of the season, Insomnia by Technoplanet, mapped and replay by Auto Fanboy. Definitely a very, very wide known way that he makes his maps very polished, very clean, but still going to be a bit of a test with low AR reading.
Yeah, it's also so great that we're already getting originals in the round of 16. It's pretty crazy that the community has grown so much to the point that we're getting originals this early even into the tournament. So huge thanks to Technoplanet for this amazing song. But I think we're going to be getting straight into the next map. And this one is going to be Hidden 3. I think we're adding one more hidden map than we had last week. So that is a little bit of something new for this week, is that there's going to be one extra hidden pick to make it a little bit better for teams who are trying to, you know, differentiate themselves on the hidden pool. This one's going to be Tanuki Step from Shoal XMTU. It's going to be Air 9.2, CS 4.2, starting of just over 5.4. And this one's going to be very technical, as you can already see, with a lot of bursty wiggles.
Yeah, definitely going to be our mechanical pick near the end of our hidden pool. Primarily to contrast the two already existing hidden picks, going to go to the extreme end by being as mechanical as it is.
Yeah, and now seeing after Hidden 1, this makes so much more sense to see something like this as a Hidden 3 slot in this round. This one definitely is pretty hard mechanically, which kind of fits the slot as well. We can see the Hidden 2 being the lower AR, and then I'm assuming future, I don't have the full information as I'm just a player, I'm assuming in the future that this Hidden 3 will be more so of the technical, harder pick, where it's hard to read some of these patterns with Hidden based on the difficulty. Being able to keep up with some of these snaps, like even those 1-4 hyper dashes into the anti-flow 1/2s, very hard to play sometimes.
Definitely more of the standard common way that Hidden is played. If you were to browse through the ranked section and put Hidden on a map, you would see something somewhat similar to this if you were looking to maybe gain some PP.
Ooh, PP. Are we gaining PP in the World Cup now?
Of course. We gotta rank every map after.
So this means you're ranking this, right?
Of course.
Alright, I'll wait for this map, and it better be uploaded by Alpine Flowery Bonsai.
Oh boy.
I better
As
see
it will
Alpine
be.
Flowery Bonsai #1 on the leaderboard, alright?
I'll
Thank
name
you.
change. You're welcome.
Let's go. Yeah, thank you to Nosuri for the map as well. Don't remember if we mentioned that, but it's good to always get it in there. This one's going to be going straight into Hard Rock 1. Bringing back Bunray for the Hard Rock 1 slot this year. It's going to be White Pain with a Y, not I in the white. It's going to be from Missile Punch.
Definitely a very consistently clean Hard Rock map. Not going to see too many Hard Rock patterns, but definitely going to see a step up from last week, shifting from that kind of harder rain to overdose level. The spacings will get wider, the streams will get a bit more intense.
Yeah, I think this one is also probably the longest pick of the whole pool, except for the tiebreaker, of course. Just over 4 minutes. Very long on the Hard Rock 1. We also see some of these patterns with the Hyper Dash being right in the middle of the note. I like to coin that one as the Dave pattern myself. I know Dave used to have that pattern a lot in his older maps, to where he would play Hard Rock and you end up missing on just those patterns because he would somehow make them, and with Hard Rock, it just turns into pretty much an abomination. These obviously not that hard compared to some of those, but it has the same kind of idea.
Definitely having test played this, they are very close range. Probably looks scarier, but once you play it, you'll notice you're able to glide right through it. You won't have to land on the end of the other note to hit it, or anything along those lines.
All in all, pretty much just a little bit of a step up in difficulty from the prior round's Hard Rock 1.
Definitely don't want to make things too intense with testing AR-10 reading for this long.
That is true. I mean, that is one thing that really isn't being thought of that much, is when you have a Hard Rock 1 that's 4 minutes long, it's gonna be straining on the eyes at the AR-10. Even though, you know, we've been around for how many years, AR-10 is still pretty hard, honestly, for most people, and considering that still every team is left in the tournament at this point, nobody's eliminated yet, it's gonna be pretty straining for the eyes.
Also gotta talk about, I love this song so much. The vocals make me tear up every time. What? Sound happier about it.
Do you know what they mean?
No.
Do you know what they mean? Okay.
No.
How can you say you like it then? How does it make you tear up if you don't know what it means?
Because the vocals are so good.
I mean, yeah. I guess that's an acceptable answer, you could say.
Moving into the final key, we are going to see the spacings get a little wider, and the streams just get a little bit more buffed. You can notice the jumps and one notes did get a bit wider. While this is consistency, we still have to map and give emphasis accordingly. And with this being a kind of ending solo, you could definitely consider this the most difficult part of the map.
Yeah, but even then, it doesn't spike up too much considering all things. It's still very tame overall for the round slot, in my opinion. Those sliders that seemed a little bit tricky, especially being 3-4 sliders. Some of the anti-flows in that final stream were potentially going to catch some people off guard in this upcoming week. We got a very nice outro as well, so if you end up comboing throughout that last stream, you get a little bit of a bonus score compared to your competitors.
All right. Jumping into Hard Rock 2.
Ooh.
Gonna be an XCON map. Going to be FA as well. Not the most common for XCON CWC track record. But this is definitely going to be a unique map given the mapper that's going to be extremely precision heavy.
Yeah, and the first thing that I noticed was AR 9.94. This one is just under 10. I'm assuming this was made pretty much because AR 10 is going to be pretty hard on this, so you want it to be just a little bit lower for the precision as well that's required. CS 5.85 after Hard Rock is applied, so pretty precise still for the round of 16.
Definitely going to be non-dense and very jumpy style. Pairing this with its very low note count, definitely going to make things spicy if you find any drop at just about any section.
Yeah, you can see on the left the replay. Max combo of 644. So, like you said, every single miss pretty punishing on this map especially.
Coming into this, we have more hypers in, but we do also have some intentional edge dashes as well.
Ooh. The thing is that I really like about this map is this is so unassuming as a map. Just watching it, it's like, wow, it doesn't seem that hard, but you have to read every single one of these direction changes and the way that the fruits are going. It is not simple flow. It is pretty much a reading test at its finest, I'd say, as well as the smaller circle size makes this very hard, in my opinion, to be able to play at a perfect level. You're going to have a lot of people moving the wrong way on a lot of these notes. You're going to have people not moving at all on some of these notes because they think that you're not supposed to move or moving, like I said, the wrong way. So, very good reading test and precision coming out from XCON on the Hard Rock 2 slot this week.
Also, I'd like to direct your attention to the dash key. 261 times, over a third of every note being dashed. Just one of those precise type of maps. Okay, going to be Alchemy Mind Disorder, mapped by Ken. Jumping right into it, the CS is going to be a bit bigger, and we already do have some precise hard rock doubles. Going to be our more streamy tech hard rock of the week. Also pretty short, considering the mechanics that are tested.
Yeah, this one. The main thing that I saw so far was those doubles at the intro. Very interesting pattern for the hard rock slot. Ooh, even some offset wiggles where you have to move a little bit more in one direction. Those are always a bit challenging for some players to be able to play because you have to pretty much know exactly how far your catcher is going to move.
Gonna get some nice slider tech here as well.
And the doubles, yeah. 116 doubles. There can't be a CWC map pool without 116 double somewhere.
You already know.
Surprise it's not in the hidden or the mixed mod pool though. That's where it should usually be.
Gonna be building up into our final TI here. Gonna be very streamy. Nothing too out of place with the rest of the map still, but still quite a bit of inputs required.
Yeah, I think this is honestly a really good introduction to playing streams at a higher level on the hard rock pick. Ooh, those 1-4s seem pretty punishing though. Coming from a stream section into those 1-4 hyperdash patterns, we're gonna see a lot of misses there, I think. Also, these patterns right here with the hyperdash in the middle, those are nice. I like those.
Yeah, a very clean map.
And
Yoshi pointing out that
too.
they're 1-8, by the way. Apologies. Yeah, a map that you can just
That was a
breeze right
banger,
through.
honestly. Yeah.
Song's amazing too.
That'll wrap it up for our hard rock pool. But we still have 2 more pools left plus the tiebreaker. This is going to be DT1. This is going to be Okibi no Hate from Elfson John. Mapped by Archer. Slightly higher approach rate, just clocking in at just over 10. I believe it's going to be, what is it, 8.6 before DT? So 8.6 plus DT, 10.07. CS is slightly smaller to compensate for that though.
That is right on all the calcs. And this is definitely going to be very consistent. Going to be quite a bit basic snaps. The spacing will get wider for the key eyes, but the flow is very intuitive. With the wider spacing, just hoping to test the general control of double time with this map.
Yeah, all things considered, very basic map for a DT1 slot. I think this is probably going to be more normal, I guess you could say, for lack of a better word, than the prior week's DT1, which is definitely going to play to the advantage of some teams, but the amount of mechanical difference that this map provides at the slightly higher approach rate too is definitely going to make up for it. It's going to probably cause some teams to do better, some teams to do worse than last week.
Definitely hoping to see who can keep up with their DT movement.
The thing that really strikes me about this map is if you are a DT player and you play a lot of the maps currently in the ranked section, this should pretty much be a walk in the park for you, in my opinion. So if you really play DT, if you're one of the few soldiers who play DT, even though it doesn't really give much PP apart from a handful of maps, hey, this is your time.
Cough the creeper. Cough.
Hey, that guy just plays everything, okay?
True.
Yeah, even then, some of these spacings relatively far in this last chorus here. So you can't be fully just sleeping on the keyboard, you could say. You have to be pretty well in touch with the map.
Even coming into that final stream section, can definitely see a lot of misses there.
Yeah. Oh, big long spinner at the end too. Pretty dense one too.
All right, jumping into DT2. Gonna have... Oh, man, I can't pronounce that. Gonna have camming out by Xerox, the newly elected GMT. Give him congrats, by the way. Going to be the higher CS control pick.
Yeah, this one being CS 4.2, but it is only AR 8 before the double time. So you'll be able to read it. Don't worry, it's not too high approach rate. But as with all pretty much Xerox maps, you expect something just a little bit funky, but also something that is very normalized in the way that it is mapped. So it should be very consistent, but also gives you a bit of a new take on how things are mapped. And you can see with some of these 1-4 movements at this BPM, could be pretty challenging for some players.
Gonna have the nice little sliders to act in this part. Just
I saw that one little. I saw that one slider that was like inverted. People need to do that kind of stuff more. And these, you're pretty sure you play walk a lot of these standstill wiggles. It looked like you could wiggle them. Some people are probably gonna wiggle them. Those ones, I don't know if you can stand still. I'd have to play them out myself.
I think it's a lot easier to wiggle, given from experience.
I really want to see if somebody's gonna stand still on the ones that were after.
Song's also an absolute banger.
True.
Spacings get a little bit wider here.
I really like the one-directional vertical movements that Xerox also put on this map. Like you see right there, where it just pretty much goes from one side of the screen to the other in a vertical pattern. And also, I like the jumps at the end too. Those are pretty cool. People need to do that more.
Very consistent with the vocal. A very fun pattern. Alright, gonna have 3 Tuki Mesmerizer by Minyam. This is going to be our dense, streamy DT of the week.
Oh yeah, this is so dense.
Definitely can be seen as a more skill pick.
It's going to be also AR10, so 8.5 before the double time. Yeah, the star rating on this one is also pretty high. I think this is the highest star rating in the pool, except for maybe a TV.
Yeah, almost at 280 BPM. Ooh.
Yeah, this one is definitely going to be a challenge for some teams, I think. Just even keeping up with the amount of movements in this map is going to be hard, never mind just the reading aspect of it as well. Because that's the thing with a lot of these density picks, it being lower AR is actually pretty hard. Because you have so many notes just all on the screen at once. But it is also very short at 142.
Very short, and while the stacks do have unique shapes, you'll learn they're pretty intuitive on when you dash and when you don't. Yeah. Definitely one that looks more intimidating than it is. Hoping to kind of compensate the skilled DT players while pairing this with DT1, which can definitely be seen as the very opposite of this map.
Yeah, this requires so much movement control.
Alright, that's gonna do it with our DT pool. Gonna be moving on to Mix Mod 1, Kanone Mazamune by Dave. Gonna be our mechanical mix mod pick of the pool. Gonna be using
just about 2.5 minutes on this one. And the approach rate for this one before Hard Rock, by the way, is going to be straight AR9, so not too high, not too low for the hidden players and no-mod players.
It's going to be 5.09 SR. CS is going to be 3.8. We're going to be showcasing it with HR. because a lot of these hyper dash wiggle patterns get introduced with HR.
This one definitely seems a bit different than the prior week's Mixed Mod 1. A lot more stream focus on this one. Although, if I'm being honest, I really like the direction that this map went. There's a lot of different streamy patterns in this, and there's also this slow section which definitely can catch off some people on the hard rock, and even on the hidden if they're just having a misreading section compared to the denser sections like this one, for example.
Going to be moving into this build-up as well.
Tough.
Before coming into the very amazing Ki with a lot of these one-off snaps. Just fit with the map really well.
This reminds me of Ultimate Ascension. I don't know why it reminds me of that one in particular, but I just get the feeling. Maybe it's like the whitish background as well. Yeah, definitely a huge step up in mechanics, specifically, compared to the last week's Mixed Mod 1. So, you can't really just be expecting to get by on this week for the Mixed Mod 1 slot. If you're not that well on mechanics, you have to be definitely able to play this for pretty much all mods for the mechanics.
Alright, gonna have one more mixed mod, which is going to be our anti-mod pick. Definitely some funny stats on this one. It's only 3.8 stars, and it's AR 8.3. So we're very much having our super low density map here.
Yeah, cool thing to note as well is this background was also drawn by Bunray, so huge shout out to them for also making the art that was used for their background.
Always love it when catch mappers draw their own backgrounds. Definitely really nice to see.
We don't have too many of them, but they're out there. Dika is pretty much the one that most people kind of associate with that now, but there are definitely more than just Dika who are capable of doing it, and we can see it right here.
Definitely lower SR from the lack of hyper dashes, but going to be very snappy nonetheless.
You know, this kind of map is, I'm looking at it, and this just reminds me of something that Fob would play if he just randomly booted up the game and is like, I want to play the game. This is the kind of map that he would load up.
Very true.
That's also when you know it's probably a pretty good hidden map, if I'm thinking that.
Gonna get the slight build up. Once again, very not dense, similar to Hard Rock 2. Shout out to AFB this week. I'm sure you've noticed all the replay names being able to play.
How many did he do?
I believe he did 10 of those.
Sheesh. Yeah, I'm trying to think of some cool way to say AFB, but in like, thanks for the carry way, but I can't, I'm sorry. But pretty much, thank you for the carry, AFB. He did pretty much the majority of the work on the replays. Plus, he's also one of the map poolers, so huge shout out to him.
Thank you, AFB. Alright, gonna be moving on to the tiebreaker, mapped by me. Culprit Psychology of James Berland. Classic Connor map, Connor song. Definitely went all out on this one. Going to be a very full flavor tiebreaker, as the song constantly changes, and I'll elaborate as each of those sections happen.
yeah, I'm just gonna pretty much let you take it away on this one, because I know you've spent a huge amount of time on this map from just what you've said in this like little bit before we went on the showcase. So I just want to say that everybody please give Connor the greatest of applauses. He spent truly a lot of time on this, more probably time than I've myself spent on any singular map. And just looking at it so far, I can see a lot of interesting ideas that really haven't been explored that much, but done in a really well thought out way. So good job.
You flatter me. Thank you. Definitely a lot of build-up with this song as well. And there are going to be a lot of difficulty variations among the song. There will be spikes, and we will see people miss quite a bit on those spikes. And we're about to move into the double hyper section, which is definitely more dash focused, as well as really fun stacks. Do have a bit of a wind down here, still using a bit of patterns from earlier, but really emphasizing the slides through sliders.
Yeah, and even like these kind of spacings, the SPs that are used on the sliders, usually you don't see them. Ooh, those wiggles kind of go a little hard for the slider section over here.
The wiggles into the very melodic part. I really love emphasizing strong melodies like this. These chords are also my favorite. Gonna have a bit of a tech part here as well. Going to be moving into a more acoustic version of this song. A lot of these drums have human error, which took a lot of time to place down appropriately. Shout out to XGon for helping me with the timing on these.
Being able to snap all these notes to the right place is always so hard. You can see just pretty much a multi-rhythm is what it's like on some of these wiggles. Have to have super good control.
Going to be moving into our bass solo section. About to get funky with some streams.
Oh, I like that little vertical slider you did there. That was a little sneaky there.
Wahaha.
I think something that's also a bit underrated in this map is the spacing that's used. A lot of the spacings are pretty far, but it also matches the song very well. So all these patterns, they get a bit harder when you consider the spacing in them as well on the hyper dashes, but it's also just nothing that's too out there for the song.
Also have Connor stacks moving into a 1/8 part with some funky sliders as well.
Are you gonna trademark that, Connor stacks?
Yes.
Let's go. Also, I saw those little hyper slider looking things.
Definitely have a lot of one-off notes that can create some difficulty with a few choke points as well. Shifting into a slight slowdown. Definitely trying to keep things a bit more common for this section. Moving into a guitar section, we have some really funky sliders. The only thing that's appropriate.
I mean, yeah, when you think of the Connor Culver series, that is one of the main attractions on the ride, you could say.
Now moving into a diff spike part, we have 1/8 to emphasize the guitar strums. Definitely brings the SR up a bit, but I find it very fitting.
Oh yeah. I love personally when mappers do this kind of thing. I also saw a little bit of an anti-flow on one of them too. Ooh, those are nice. They look hard, but I can pretty much assure you I don't think they play as hard as they look. So don't worry on that one.
Definitely cut right through them. Moving into definitely a woodwind section. Going to see a lot of sharp jumps here to emphasize that. And then one final solo here before ending the map. Definitely the best map I've made, and I hope you all enjoy it as much as I do.
Yeah, honestly, very excited to go check out the map myself. I know you won't struggle finding BNs for that one, that's for sure. You're gonna get that ranked in about 2 weeks, qualified in 1. I'm almost certain of it. But
I appreciate that.
That is gonna wrap it up for us for the round of 16 Mappool Showcase. Any final words that you would like to say, Connor?
Yes, something my mic cut out as I was attempting to mention. The Technoplanet background, the graphic designer for the Technoplanet map is Bullmaster Flex. You've seen him in chat before. And the video designer is Sakura006. Definitely seeing his name around a lot as he leads design through all of these World Cups. Definitely shout out to him. I really loved the video reveal a lot when I first got to see it.
Yeah, it was beautiful, honestly.
But that does conclude it from us. Make sure to buy some banners if you haven't. That's the theme of today. CSIF has the record of 47 banners right now. So make sure to check out his profile.
If you want to go see what absolute madness looks like, go look at CSIF's profile. You have to scroll down several times to be able to get just to like his rank. So go check it out. If you want to beat him, go beat him. I don't think he's going to be beaten though, but you can try.
And that does conclude it from us. Thank you so much for joining us. Stay tuned for even more amazing maps and maybe even more amazing originals as we go down our Mappool journey. See you next time.